Well, hello, my friends. Today we're going to continue our reading in the book of Psalms. Now, we began by looking at the value of man, focused on chapter 8. Then we looked at the depravity of man, focused on chapter 14. Today, in our reading from 18 to 22, we're going to focus on chapter 18 and look at the hope of man. Now, we know when a man has a depraved nature, that we need some salvation. We need some hope, and God is that hope. In fact, we look at 18 verse 2. The Lord is my rock and my fortress, my deliverer and my God, my rock, in whom I take refuge. He's my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Friends, that is hope when our God is our refuge. Verse number 3, I call and he saves me from my enemies. Verse 6, I call and he hears me. Verse number 7, he rescues me from my enemies. And verse 19, he rescues because he delights in me. He loves me. Remember, we are valuable to him. And so when we call on him, he comes to our rescue. And then finally, in verse number 32, he equips us with strength. So God is our hope. We can't do it within ourselves. A lot of times, because of the depravity of man, he feels like he can do it himself. He tries to do things himself. Our human nature, it's kind of like a kid that doesn't want their parents to do it. They want to do it themselves. And friends, when we try to do it ourselves, we're failures. So God is our hope. He is the hope of mankind. And then in chapter 22 of Psalms, we won't look at that today, but it's a messianic chapter, and it's pointing towards Jesus Christ. Friends, I want to say Jesus came to die on a cross for our sins, and that is the hope. When we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us of all of our sins. That is the hope of mankind. And until we receive that hope, until we receive Jesus Christ, God's Son, then we are still living in that depraved state. And friends, that's a tragic place to be. It only leads to destruction. So I encourage you, accept Christ, turn to God, and he will give you hope and give you peace. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.